Imagine a bustling neighborhood filled with the vibrant sights and sounds of a faraway land. Lanterns swaying gently in the breeze, the melodic hum of a foreign language, and the scent of exotic spices drifting through the air. This was Denver's Chinatown, a place that thrived with culture, community, and commerce in the 19th century. But amid the promise and prosperity, a storm was brewing. A storm fueled by fear, prejudice, and misunderstanding. Seeing the way Denver is now, it probably comes as a surprise to most people that there once was a well-established Chinatown in the midst of the city. As we journey back in time, we'll uncover the untold stories of resilience and struggle, of a community that once flourished against all odds and faced devastating challenges. This is not just a tale of bygone era. It's a powerful reminder of the human spirit's ability to endure and rebuild. Join me as we explore the rise and fall of Denver's Chinatown, a chapter in history that deserves to be remembered and shared. So let's dive into the rise of Denver's Chinatown, which was locally known as Hop Alley. It emerged in the late 19th century as Chinese immigrants began settling in the city. The community's roots trace back to 1869, when the first Chinese resident, Hong Li, arrived. Living in a shanty at Wazi and F Streets, he operated a washing and ironing laundry business. This marked the beginning of a modest, yet growing Chinese presence in Denver. By the 1880s, the Chinese population had increased substantially, with many community members employed in laundromats, restaurants, and various service industries. They were drawn by the promise of economic opportunities, particularly in the railroads and mining sectors, which required a steady supply of labor. The Colorado Territorial Legislature supported Chinese immigration, believing it would accelerate the region's development by providing affordable labor. Consequently, the community flourished, with Chinese-owned businesses lining Wazi Street and neighboring areas. So what was life in Hop Alley like? Well, it was a vibrant neighborhood that seamlessly blended Chinese culture with American urban life. Residents celebrated traditional Chinese festivals such as the Lunar New Year and Mid-Autumn Festival, with colorful parades, dragon dances, and elaborate feasts. They upheld their customs by gathering for community dinners and practicing traditional arts like calligraphy and paper cutting. The streets were adorned with colorful lanterns, and the air filled with the enticing aromas of traditional Chinese cuisine, such as dim sum, roast duck, and stir-fried noodles. Chinese herbal medicine shops offered remedies for various ailments, grocery stores stocked imported goods, and entertainment venues like tea houses and opera theaters added to the lively and bustling atmosphere. But despite its vibrancy, Denver's Chinatown faced significant challenges. Anti-Chinese sentiment was widespread across the United States during this period, driven by economic competition and deep-seated racial prejudices. In Denver, tensions between the Chinese community and other residents often flared up. Chinese workers were unfairly blamed for taking jobs away from white laborers, and they faced discriminatory laws and practices that made daily life for them very difficult. The atmosphere was often charged with hostility, making it a tough and uncertain environment for the Chinese residents who were just trying to build their lives. The most devastating chapter in the history of Denver's Chinatown unfolded on a fateful night, October 31st, 1880, Halloween. Under the cloak of chaos and fueled by rage, a violent mob of several thousand people stormed into Hop Alley. The spark that ignited the fury was a seemingly small dispute in a saloon. Two Chinese men by the name of Sing Li and Luke Young were playing pool at a saloon called John's Place off of 16th and Wazi. That's when a group of white men entered and started harassing them. The situation soon escalated when one of the white men struck one of the Chinese men with a wooden board. And despite attempts by the saloon owner to defuse the situation and usher the men to safety, the incident quickly spiraled out of control. So Sing Lee was brutally beaten and ultimately hanged from a lamp post by the mob. And then Luke Young suffered a similarly tragic fate. He was forcibly taken from his home, dragged through the town by a rope around his neck, beaten, and then lynched. Their untimely deaths underscore the severe racial violence and discrimination faced by the Chinese community in Denver at that time, drawing a large, angry crowd and culminating in an all-out assault on the entire Chinese community. The scene was obviously one of utter devastation. Homes and businesses were reduced to smoldering ruins as buildings were set ablaze. The air was thick with fear as Chinese residents were beaten and forced to flee for their lives. And to make things worse, the financial toll was also immense, with losses estimated around $53,000 at the time. And just to put that into perspective, that's worth approximately $1.3 million today. And despite the Chinese government's efforts to seek compensation, justice was elusive. The Chinese residents received no restitution, and the perpetrators of the violence walked away unpunished. This dark episode left an indelible mark on Denver's Chinatown, casting a long shadow over what was once a thriving and vibrant community. In the aftermath of the riot, many Chinese residents left Denver, seeking safer communities elsewhere. Those who remained continued to face discrimination and hostility. And over time, the once thriving Chinatown began to decline. By the 1940s, the Chinese population in Denver had dwindled, and the area that had once been Hop Alley was largely abandoned. As the years rolled on, the echoes of Denver's Chinatown began to fade, but the resilience of its residents left an indelible mark on the city. The streets that once bustled with the vibrant colors and sounds of Hop Alley slowly transformed. The cheerful lanterns and the aromatic food stalls gave way to the relentless march of urban development. By the mid-20th century, the physical traces of the once thriving community had vanished, swallowed up by the city's rapid expansion and renewal efforts. Yet the spirit of Chinatown endured. Those who lived through its rise and fall carried the memories with them, passing down stories of celebration, struggle, and perseverance to younger generations. The corner of 20th and Blake Streets, now marked by a simple plaque, stands as a silent witness to a bygone era. It whispers tales of a community that, despite facing immense adversity, contributed richly to the cultural and economic tapestry of Denver. Walking through the bustling modern streets of Denver, it's easy to overlook the hidden histories beneath our feet. But every step taken near that commemorative plaque is a step over hallowed ground, a place that thrived in the dreams and hard work of immigrants seeking a better life. The rise and fall of Denver's Chinatown is more than just a historical footnote. It's a testament to the human spirit's unyielding capacity to endure, rebuild, and leave a lasting legacy. For those who lived through it, their story is a vital part of Denver's heritage, a chapter that deserves to be remembered, shared, and celebrated. And this concludes today's story time. While it was a somber tale, I hope you found it thought-provoking and meaningful. Thanks for listening. Bye.